Hey there, crispy critters. It's Mrs. Crisp coming to you from my yard. I decided that since we can't do science together in the classroom, we might as well do it together in the outdoors. So I am out in my yard, and the topic we're going to be talking about is environments. So I live in a really cool environment. I'm going to switch the camera, and I live in an environment that has a marine environment, kind of a marine influence. So I live on Mud Bay. You can see why it's called Mud Bay. The tide is out right now. And I have some pretty cool little micro environments. But what you're going to be looking for today is you're going to be looking for an environment in your yard. And what I did is I walked around and I thought, I want to find an interesting environment that has a variety of maybe plants and animals and different interesting things. So as I walked around, I got some branches down. We had a big windstorm a couple days ago and we lost a bunch of big branches. But as I was looking around, I thought, well, I got my little raspberry patch here. Maybe that would work. And then I thought about a place where I've really seen a lot of insect activity. And I knew it would have a lot of interest. So this is my fun little cottage on the water. I'm going to walk you over here to this little garden area. And I have some materials set up that you're going to use to record some happenings in your little environment. So here's what I've got. I have an old-fashioned ruler. It's kind of an interesting one. It hinges at every 6 inches. I'm not really sure what kind of a ruler it is. If somebody can find out, that'd be awesome. Or if you don't have one of those, you can use a ruler like that. You can use a tape measure. Got this one going. And you'll need something to mark off the 4 corners. And I just grabbed some plastic utensils to mark off a 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. However you want to do it is just fine. I can't see what you came up with and how you're going to mark off your 12 inch by 12 inch square. You might want to think about putting rocks around it or maybe some yarn or string, but you want it to be the same 12 inches for the next few weeks because we're going to be really looking at what the environment in that little micro environment is. All right, so this one, kind of boring. Not a lot in it, some dirt, I bet. If I got really close, I could probably find some little animals and critters, but I decided to find a spot that was a little more interesting. So here is my 12 inch by 12 inch spot. And you can see there's this little flower here. Interested to see what happens with that. Looks like I have some little shoot coming up here. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. That's a little thing I didn't even notice. I'm wondering if it's somehow related to this big plant that's on the outside of this square. I've got a rock. I was interested to see if anything was going to happen under that rock. I've got a pine cone, a stick, piece of twig that came down from the big trees above us. A weird little blue thing. I don't know what that is. And, it's kind of a glittery rock. Maybe it's pyrite or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I have my 12-inch square. We're going to be observing that every day, hopefully at about the same time. And then you'll need to set up your little science journal. So hopefully you have a journal or pad of paper, and you'll need to put these following columns: date and time, weather and temperature, and observation, so pictures and notes, and then questions and wonderings. Now, I pre-filled mine out, so you can see an example of what mine looks like. So today, April 7th, it's a little after 1 o'clock. It was cloudy when I started, 52 degrees. And then I made it's not really detailed. When I go inside, I'm going to use colored pencils and really give some detail to this. But I made sure I put the big things, the little blue bit, the pine cone, the rock, that plant. I also made sure that I put the dimensions of this because as a scientist, you want to make sure that you're having accurate records of what you were looking at. At 1:36, this little ant, he wandered through. And I think I may next time be ready to see what path the little ants take when they go through here. And then some questions and wonderings. I thought, wow, is this part of that rosemary plant? And then, how does that ant move so fast? So my friends, that's your task. Your task is to find a 12-inch by 12-inch spot somewhere in your yard. It could be by your front stairs. If the outside doesn't work, you can do it maybe in a garage, in a basement, someplace where you think it might change day to day. Your yard is the best thing possible, okay, if you can. And then you want it to stay. You want to mark it so that you can come back to it every day and do your observations, okay? So I look forward to seeing the spots that you chose. If you have access to your phone, or you can take your Chromebook outside and you can take a picture of it, that's also really good evidence. I can't wait to see what your environments are. I'll check in with you soon.